swear, bro. Like those like 2020 Discord. I see people like I joined like some like random main Discord once, like a really popular guild. Like it's a guild. I'm actually so hypixel brain rotted, bro. I just said guild to the fourth Discord. I'm sure. But it was like they are like dead ass stuck in like 2021. I'm not even kidding. Like everything about them is like 2021.
I died, Mac. Be careful.
I just cooked them. I just cooked them. I just cooked them. I just cooked them. I just cooked that bum. Exactly.
Okay.
Cooked how? Cooked how? By getting fried. You got fried by the one and only. Oh, Musara. Yeah, I gotta stop talking, bro. I think this is like actually bringing down like my general aura. Like I've been like general like I'm really like I'm like the desert like, and you guys are kind of like the pebbles of sand. Like on
Mac,
the,
ignore it. Oh, never mind.
Like in the forest.
The desert.
What
She
if
took
there
no
was
KB
like
for
what
that.
if there was like a forest and a desert? Have you guys ever thought about that?
Like an oasis?
No, like a forest. Like oasis aren't forests. They're just oasis.
So like a forest
Is that how you say it?
desert?
Yeah, something like that.
Why we? What? Why? What?
Why not, bro? I'm just curious if they exist. Why you hating on my hustle, man?
I'm not
Be
hating.
nice.
I'm just curious.
It's just something I thought of. You never think about stuff like that? Like, oh my gosh, I forgot One Piece is back, bro. I'm so excited for the weekend, bro. I've been waiting all my life for this, bro. I've sacrificed people for this, bro. I'm tripping, bro. I'm tripping. Hello. Oh, excuse me. Excuse me. We calm down. I know it's too slow. It really should be like 5 a week, but I know they can't do that because there would be slave labor at that point. I wouldn't mind slave labor though if it helped One Piece come out though. If I'm being honest, like really, like if you think about like the more like it's the means justify the ends. Mac, how did you just get clap-a-mappa right there, bro? I would not take that if I were you. Like what? I just went flying. Oh, don't say free. I just went flying 15 blocks into the air. But remember that one time, Mac, where like I low grounded, but I hit you. I'm remembering that as clear as day. Okay, man. Why am I going flying? Like what the flip? I was not practiced for this.
Holy cringe.
2 for 2 tap off. Yo, that is not English, bro. Stick to Bulgarian, man. Stick to Bulgarian. You can't read. I can definitely read Bulgarian. You just haven't seen my ultimate Bulgarian prowess, bro. It's definitely there. I can very much read English, man. I'm very much like the goat. Like I'm overly the goat. Like this is just. Yo, I hate fighting you, man. Why are you so fat? And I mean, it's fucking laggy, bro. Like your internet is so.
You just tried Kari.
Dude, I'm tired of fighting this guy. Why did I just get 2 tapped again? Shut up. Yo, shut up. I'm washed, bro. I'm washed. What am I meant to do in that scenario, bro? Yo, do not say that nonsense, bro. Who's prime? I don't know who's prime that is. Yuma, I would at least get 1 hit on me, not 0. Okay, Mac, you're done for, man. See, not a 2 tap this time. Cooked, fried, sizzled, baked, grilled, broiled. You just got slow cooked. I'm sorry, man. Slow cooked of doom, bro. I wouldn't take that. I would not take that. L Mac. You might have 2 hit me, but did you 3 hit me? No, you did not. Okay, bye. Gotta let the kids have fun too. You're like 1 year older than me, bro. I don't want to hear it. Oh no, you're 2 years older than me, Unk. So old, bro. Oldie. I'm not fighting this guy.
Why did you Okay, Kari.
Second youngest in BC. Who's youngest? Oh, Happy Noob. That guy's the youngest. I forget. Alright, man. Seems like we've traded. Forgot he's here. Yes, indubitably. Third, then. I'm low-key starting to get up there, man. Like, I'm really getting
what
old.
the fuck?
Is there a bed
Stupid ass
call?
bang,
I forgot you're not on my team. Well, don't insult my teammate, aka my goat. Gray. Don't do that. If you do that, I might have to have a combo with you, and it won't be very nice. It'll consist of a knuckle sandwich with a side of pain. Was that cold, guys? I'm just curious. I thought that was tough. Okay, man. Okay, I got one tap.
Get the bed
Guys,
back.
it's
Get the
over.
bed. Oh, you jumped too late. It's okay.
Yo, stop placing blocks, fatty. Mackie poo. Yeah. Bro, my head's like tingling, bro. I could feel the headspace colliding into one form of singularity. Can y'all feel that sometimes? Like your head's like really like it's starting to like zone into like one point instead of like two or three. It's just one. Like not like a. Oh, you do? That's nice. Can you stop block hitting? Oh my god.
Why not?
Because you need to fight me like a man.
Man.
Do gingers have ginger pubes? I'm just curious. Like that sounds kind of weird, but I'm actually curious if they do or not. It just came to my head.
Probably do.
Do you think they do? Well, is there an answer? That is a good question. Like I don't think that's a like. Wait, I have. Oh, there's the enemy. No. Question mark. I couldn't imagine somebody with like ginger armpits. That sounds kind of crazy to me. Bro, I know if aliens took over and sold us on to slavery, I know gingers would be like I know they'd be like a prized possession, bro. I just know they would.
Right now. He's coming for you, Mike.
Cooked once again. Where's my height?
That. That's what I'm saying.
Where's my hit? You don't get any hits. Because I'm here. Detroit Smash!
Alright.
Sorry. What does Deku do? Oh, for one, 100%! Full cowling! No, it's 50. Wait. You've seen my hair. I can't remember if he says all for one first or second.
I don't think he says that at all.
Oh, he says full cowling.
Yeah.
Back to normal.
The fuck, Kari?
Where I hate Deku.
Nice, Mac. Okay. I thought you guys both fall. Jesus Christ.
I'm gonna touch on some Bulgarian stereotypes because I know there's probably a bunch of them. Because like I hear all people in like that little pocket of Europe, they don't like each other, so that means they have a lot of stereotypes for each other, which means I could probably find them on Google somewhere. So I'm gonna go find them and I'm gonna recite them to Mac and tell him and ask him how true they are.
The fuck is Musara?
No! Dude, what the flip? Ah! I can't. I have to protect my friends no matter what. Second gear. Corey did not go second gear, I'm afraid. What did it? Yes, get your leader. Get kill leaderboard. No, no. Wait, I don't see the leaderboard. Hello, where's the leaderboard? There is no. Wait, I'm not trolling. There's no leaderboard here. What? What lead? I'm not even trolling. There's no leaderboard.
Sure.
Okay, I think my commands. I think I'm at commands. I'll send you a picture. There's no leaderboard. What?
You know what?
What was the kills? What was kills? Wait, are you guys trolling me? Am I being trolled? Am I being played with? Are you guys messing with me? Are you serious? There's no way it was that bad. The disparities between us all were not that apparent, I'd say. Dude, you could not tell me my English right there was not crazy. You could not tell me I shouldn't have an English degree after what I just said. No.
My head.
Bro, did you know that people who are incumbents who are for re-election in the Congress typically have an advantage since voters typically recognize them and will vote them over, and also have more power in Congress since they've been there for longer and they know more people and therefore have more connections, and also therefore gain money since they have more power. Did you know that, Yuma?
Mm-hmm. I did not, but it makes sense.
Sounds like common sense. That is called the incumbent advantage in the Congress of the United States. Did you also know that federal bureaucratic agencies typically compete over discretionary spending passed by the Congress, the budget in the Congress?
My fucking boss
the president proposes the bill. Congress passes the bill and adds their own interpretation of the bill. Technically, not really interpretation, but they add their own review over it. Yeah. And presidents must go. Oh, our bed's gone. Presidents must go through with their budget, and they can't. I mean, if they don't, I think it's called impounding, which is illegal. Declared unconstitutional. Oh, you know what's also considered unconstitutional? A line item veto by the president of the United States. The line item veto is when the president decides to veto some parts of a bill, but not all parts of the bill. That is declared unconstitutional. As of I think the 90s. That is unconstitutional. So you cannot. So a president cannot veto parts of a bill. They have to veto the entire bill or none of the bill at all, which greatly limits the president's power and especially the executive branch's power of the United States of America. Other checks on the executive branch would be impeachment. The House representatives, they call for impeachment and Senate holds the trial. Isn't that so interesting, guys? I have to know all of this by memory. So that's why I'm reciting it right now. And like, yeah, if I don't know it, I'm gonna get a bad grade on my test, my AP test. It's like a year-round test.
Makes sense.
Like, I need to know all the Federalist documents. Like, you guys know the Constitution of America, right? Like, you guys know that. What's that about, right? Yeah. Are you familiar with the Supremacy Clause, by any chance? You know what the Supremacy Clause does, Yuma? Are you familiar with the Supremacy Clause? The Supremacy Clause essentially gives the government supreme control over lawmaking across all the states and local. The states have authority over local laws, in fact, indubitably, and federal government has authority over state laws. There you go.
Okay.
That's what Supremacy Clause does. Now, in order for the federal government to gain power that is not explicitly granted in the Constitution, they use another clause known as the Commerce Clause, otherwise known as the Elastic Clause, which essentially means that the government has all powers over anything that has to do with commerce. So what the federal government likes to do is control things and then use the excuse of it's about commerce, bro. In order for the federal government to gain more power. However, this court case U.S. v. Lopez decided that you guys are gonna love this. There was a court case. There was a court case that I think thoroughly banned gun-free zones in school. Not a court case, but there's a court case that someone got Someone
I think it
got
showed interest. You
prosecuted
actually got my
for
interest.
having a gun in school, right? Someone got prosecuted for having a gun in school because there's federally there was no gun school zones, right? And so the court case came back, and it was decided that the government cannot have gun-free school zones, because and it cannot link that to the Commerce Clause, so that is unconstitutional. In fact, so yeah, you cannot have gun-free zones in America. Fun fact: I'm not gun-free school zones, gun-free school zones in particular.
What the fuck?
Due to a ruling. Wow, I'm talking about AP Gov, and I'm getting the bed. I just killed 2 and got the bed.
Kill.
What do you want to know, Yuma? What else do you want to know? Is there anything else in particular I'm curious about?
What did
I
you
have
learn
to.
today?
This is learn today. Well, the unit's done. I'm basically done. But what did I learn? I learned about political polarization, socialization. I learned about census, how the voting process system, why third-party systems have no chance of ever winning an election in America. There's a few reasons. I might take my nose packet out for this one. Okay, there's a few reasons. The laws are made so the Democrats and Republicans can only win elections. There is a, what do you call it? Like a pool of money that taxpayers pay, which basically gives out grants to anybody who wants to run for president. However, to get any of the grant, you need to have at least 5% of the
I died.
Yo, but except that's impossible for any third party candidate to get 5% of the vote in any election. That's just not possible. So that money is just kind of in like free fall and will never return, and no one will ever have access to it. Another thing is that they don't get funded at all.
Oh,
like not at all. Like third parties typically they can only run with like $2 million. While Democrats and Republicans, like in 2020, Joe Biden ran with $1 billion. The Green Party candidate ran with like $1 million. So yeah, it's impossible because of funding issues. Yes, Mac. If you're curious, there's only really 2 parties in America. There's other parties, but it's impossible, like statistically impossible for them to win an election. They can, however, change the turnout of elections.
What? She left.
They can't win.
Oh,
Great. What is so scary about the U.S. government that you don't want to be informed on this? Am I getting comboed? I'm mad bored. Well, this is important information. I'm studying for my test right now. Can you stop being rude?
That's the normal thing she does.
This is testing. I'm testing myself. Single party be chosen, or are the votes always too close for that to happen? They're always too. As of recent trends, most elections have been very close between Republicans and Democrats. For the last election, the tie was only between a few million votes, which is a lot. For the election before that, I think it was only like 1 million votes. Decided the last election. So there's not a lot of votes that decide elections. And in America, you can win. You can become the president without winning the popular vote. Fun fact, Mac. So you don't actually have to be. Yeah, you don't have to be the most. Like if you could get, more people could vote for you, Max. Essentially, imagine if I got like 79 votes and the other candidate got like 78 million votes. In America, it's possible for the guy with 78 million votes to win the election and not the 79 million. That's possible. Because of the Electoral College. But how? The way it's kind of confusing. I don't know how to explain this very well. Do you want to know? Corey's going to be mad at me. So essentially, the Electoral College is the way how Americans vote. It's determined. Electoral College essentially it gives every state in America a certain amount that is proportional to their population of their state. So since more population have more electoral votes. If you get 270 electoral votes, you win the election automatically. My box disappeared. Yes, in fact. But some states. So what really matters when it comes down to elections is swing states. Swing states determine elections in America. So swing states are states that typically they vote either Republican or Democrat, but they don't have like a specific state they vote for. Like some states, like Florida, is like strictly Republican. They only vote for Republican. And California, they only vote Democrat. But some states are like Republican and Democrat, so you never know. And those states are the states that decide the election. So what candidates do is that they build their campaigns off of those states in particular because of how important they are to win the election. Like my state, Pennsylvania, because of the demographics. So typically, Republicans are more conservative and Democrats are more liberal. People who typically live in like higher population, like cities and stuff, are typically more liberal because liberal policies are more dedicated towards them. So like places like California, which a lot of cities is more liberal. New York City's more liberal. The lib sissies all live in like the big dem states. Okay, while Republicans typically live in like more rural areas because Republican policies more target them and what they want. Mm-hmm.
What? All right.
So, does that answer your question? But some are kind of on the cusp. Like in Pennsylvania, state I live in, is like one of the deciding swing states. So like typically the president who wins over Pennsylvania is the president who wins. Yeah, that's it. What else should I go over? No, there's only, let me think. There's Nevada, Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, Nevada. There's like 8 swing states, I think. Yeah. Typically, like, you don't want to, you don't want to build your campaign. If you're a Democrat, you don't want to build your campaign off of a state that you know is 100% going to vote Republican. That's stupid. You want to build a campaign where people are kind of like, I don't know, you know what I mean? Or more divided. Oh, my bread might be going.
No.
Oh. Wow, I'm actually teaching somebody our government. Isn't this interesting, Mac? I love learning about this type of stuff. I'm sorry. I'm unapologetically a nerd. It actually is. Let me know, Mac. This is like good for me because it's review. So like, if you have any questions, actually like let me know. Like, if there's any branch of government, like something about the government, bro, please ask me. I need to review. I'm too dumb to ask any. Are you curious about like a president's, like how their powers work or anything, or like the Congress of our country, or even a judicial branch? That's when I don't know the judicial branch very well. I'm not very caught up on that. Presidents. So you want to know about presidential powers? I don't know about all the presidents on what they did because a lot of presidents are irrelevant, but the important ones are important. But presidents have a lot of powers, and they're kind of overpowered. In today's climate, I'd say presidents are probably a little too powerful. Actually, I think the power should be limited. What should I tell you about? That they're just puppets. No, presidents aren't puppets. What does puppet mean? Like, what can you define what puppet means? Kind of.
Bigger power. Probably.
Controlled by its party, kind of and kind of not. See, like, I would say presidents control the party rather than party controlling the president. If that makes sense. Presidents do have to rely on the pulse of their party, or they will become unpopular and they won't win re-election. So they have to kind of stick with their party's policies. But there's been times where presidents go against their party.
Yeah, they just influence it.
The president is in charge of they're the head of their party, by the way, their political party. So yeah, they lead it. That's like their entire thing. Well, they're not technically the leader, but they're like the leader, the head. Don't know how to explain
it.
The representative. Presidents have. Okay, I'm not good with the formal powers very well. As representative, I think what you're talking about is Congress. Congress is very much controlled by parties. Congress is all about parties. See, because Congress is divided by Republicans and Democrats. And if you're a Democrat and you don't vote everything like Democrat, you won't get funded. You won't get paid. Interest groups will not fund you, and you probably won't get reelected. And people that you represent are not going to be happy with you. So sense. You typically want to go with your party. If you're in Congress, presidents don't really have to unless as much, but they have to stick with the will of the people. Presidents can sign executive orders, which essentially is just like a president's law. They can just be like, "Oh yeah, this is the law now." That goes into effect. Without Congress needing to pass a law, they kind of just can't do it. The issue with them is that the judicial branch can say that they're unconstitutional, and then their how'd you hit me? And then their branch is like, and then their executive order gets removed, or I've been on this for like 20 minutes, yo.
More than 20 minutes.
Or what do you? Okay, I'm getting flawless. Or the next president that after the president can be like, I don't like your executive order and revoke it. So yeah, executive orders are flawed but really OP, I'd say. Yeah, they only get 2 terms. This was actually outlined in the 22nd. This was outlined in the 22nd Amendment. This is also what I need to know for the my test. The 22nd Amendment states that they can only have 2. Oh, Mac, yo, cool, almost. But essentially,
I'm gonna get one tap.
Oh no.
Oh, that's gone. Yeah, it's gone. She had that low ground.
But yeah, one president ran for 3 terms. That would be FDR. People liked him so much. But then people were like, I don't know about that. So, Diamond, I'm currently talking. Oh, bye, Yuma. My bad. I should have just said bye, Yuma instead. What's the point? I love talking. Yeah, it's been fun, man. You just leave the party at this point, man. Just leave the party. Yo, we don't even need an exclamation, please. Anyways, Diamond, I'm talking about the U.S. government right now. Do you want to hear about the U.S. government with me, Diamond? It's a lot of fun. I'm having a lot of fun talking about it. But it's for my test. Oh, Diamond left! Bro. This is important. And then left. Are you serious? That was rude. Wow. I have issues now. We're gonna have to
see what we're all thinking.
It's just you. Just because you're British doesn't mean like you have to be all negative or whatever. Like just say your country got owned by my. Your country got owned by my country. Just say that.
Just
like. Wait, no, I mean your country got owned by my country. Wait, my bad. Just say that your country got owned.
You say, oh my god, hold on.
Just say my country is like freedom and your country is like British people. Just say that. What else? I don't talk about presidents anymore. Presidents are boring.
Oh, that's tragic.
I hate the powers the president has. It was the most least interesting. Freedom bans trans healthcare. Yeah, that was low-key not a good move. However, that was an executive order. See, that was an executive order. As I was talking about earlier, yes, they can do an executive order. Executive orders are like laws. So like our current president Trump, he passed an executive order that basically renamed the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America.
Oh yeah, that shit was low.
As of something that was really necessary that we needed to go through. He also banned he banned the Department of Education. He also did that. Or outlawed it. There's he can do a bunch of stuff. He did what? Yeah, there's no more Department of Education, like Federal Department of Education anymore in America. He got rid of that. He created like a part of a branch of government because Republicans argue that the Federal Department of Education is inherently like liberal and like brainwashing like children. I'm not kidding. This is part of what they think. They think that they're brainwashing children, but they also think that it's a waste of money, which is what Republicans have been trying to cut down on. Money and spending of the government, because the federal government wastes a lot of money. Like I'm talking about, they waste like maybe billions, a lot of billions, because they're super wasteful. And I actually agree with the Republicans. They should start to cut some government programs because of how useless they are. Like I forgot, but there's like 9 branches of agencies that deal with like food. I'm not even kidding, and they basically do the same thing. And there are like 9 agencies, and they do the same thing, and it's just useless. Like we don't need it. And it's just wasting money. Which I agree that we should probably cut them, but I don't think the Department of Education is something we need to cut. I just don't think so.
Nobody thinks so.
I do agree with cutting like useless agencies, because there's a lot of useless agencies that have like no effect on America. And really just take money and do stupid stuff with it. Yeah, but executive orders, he can do anything he wants with them, except the next president. If that president's a liberal, they oversee education. They help fund school lunches. People that typically are underprivileged and are unable to afford school lunch. They do programs that help with that. They help with homelessness. People who are homeless get education. They help with preschool, like preschoolers and preschool education. Um, yeah, things like that. They
Mm-hmm.
keep track of like education demographics and all that. Yeah. Why would he ban that? As I said, they think it's a waste of money and a waste of time because ever since the Department of Education was created, this is one of the arguments they use that our like the U.S. standing in like education stuff has gone down and not up. So it's like it's not really helping the country. They also think that it's an overreach of government power. Republicans, they want smaller government. They don't like big governments. They want smaller governments. So they want to limit the power of the federal government and bolden the power of the state's governments. So that's part of it. And since it's the federal program, I think it's too much power given to the Department of Education. I think it's useless. So they're like, let's just get rid of it. But it's not popular. Like a lot of Democrats do not want that to go. A lot of young people don't want it to go, as far as I know. Like it wasn't a like decision on that. But I know some people are really happy about it. So it just depends on who you are.
Nice.
Oh, Diamond's not back. It's Rizzler Jizzler, bro. Come on. I don't want this nerd to hear what I'm talking about. He's not into he's a Canadian. I don't there's one group I don't like. Yeah, there's just one group I really don't like is Canadians. Like can I be honest?
Honestly.
I really don't like Canadians. British people British people are not fun, right? They're not fun. But Canadians are just a whole nother level, bro. Like
the French.
Mac Canadians are like British, but like all constantly in your ear and like yelling in your ear and just like that's what they're like. A British person, but like a specialized British person for just for us. That's what I'm saying. No. Canadians, they don't have a personality except them saying that they're not from America. Like that's like their whole thing. They're not. I'm not from America. I'm actually Canadian. That's like the thing. I think it's like a dork thing. I was never here. Okay. It's the same thing. That's why I don't like them. What are you rambling about? I was just talking about the U.S. government. I was explaining to Mac all the intricacies and how the U.S. government works. I'm reviewing for my government test. That's like on like every branch of government and like a bunch of other stuff and like politics. And that's coming up in like 3 weeks. I have to review. So I'm yapping a bunch, so I can like review for it. I'm really smart, right? And I know like only Mac is listening. I think Yuma's listening, and Corey hates me right now. I know Corey's gonna block me after this. Miserable scream. Just mute me if you don't want to hear it. I'm eating it up. Mac, I can tell you about the DMs later. Like this stuff is like interesting. To me. That's all I'm saying. What else? I don't know what to talk about. It's like that would pique your interest. I talk about the court cases of America. Oh, you know about the court cases of America?
Yeah.
In the amendments, the court cases.
Yeah.
Really, like Supreme Court cases. Okay, Mac, let me teach you all of the amendments, or the important ones. Okay, this is important stuff. Canadian history better. Do we even know Canadian history? What even happens in Canada, bro? Except like I don't know, enslaving Native Americans. What did they even do? Amendments. Okay. So we have a constitution. We are a constitutional republic. So we have a constitution that essentially rights are rights, and the rights written in the constitutions are written in the form of that was the British, by the way, not Canadians. That was written in the form of amendments. So they guarantee us our rights that were written like in our country. Like they're bound into our country. So every person has these rights if they're in our country. Typically, for an amendment to pass, the Congress has to pass it, and then 3/4 of states have to pass it too. There's 50 states in America, so I don't know. Do the math. So the First Amendment states that people have freedom of inalienable freedom of speech, religion, right to petition, right to assembly, and right to press. So basically, we have freedom of speech, and we can say whatever we want about the government, and we cannot get in trouble for that. Unlike the UK, I'm hearing in the UK, like they will low key throw you in jail for some stuff. You can't say some stuff because they'll throw you in jail. In America, that is not legal. You cannot do that, and that's an easy court case if they try to do that. There is an exception. Slander is not protected. So if you lie about somebody, and you ruin a reputation, that is not protected under the First Amendment. You will go to jail. For that, defamation. I can't remember the difference between defamation and slander. Libel too. Oh, libel is if you write something that's false about somebody, and it ruins reputation. That is also not allowed. You can't do that. What else? Violent speech. Like if you threaten to, like, I don't know, do not very nice things to a school, like publicly, that is not legal. Or threaten to get or threaten to abuse anyone, like threaten like someone's life, that is not protected under the freedom of speech. You will go to jail. Other things include actually I won't say it, but if you're smart enough, you'll know what I'm talking about. What else? Second Amendment is right to bear arms, aka right to own guns. So we're allowed to own guns legally under our amendments, and it is inalienable, and you cannot take our guns away. Yeah, that's the Second Amendment. It's written in our Constitution, by the way. Oh, our bed's gone. No, Second Amendment gives us rights to own a gun. That's what it does, essentially. So we can own guns. It doesn't specifically say. It says right to bear arms. So that's really unclear, right? So there's not, like, people interpret it in different ways on what it could possibly mean in, like, this context. So some people say it's right to own any gun. Some people say it's right to own some guns. Not in the Constitution, no. There's no written limit. You can own any gun, technically. But the court, no. You don't need a license, either. Some people say that you don't need a license to own guns. Or even checks, because it says inalienable right. So it says you're bound to own a gun. You can own a gun, and no one can take that from you. Or block you from getting one. Yeah, any gun. That's written in our Constitution. This is written in the 1700s, by the way. Mac, please tell me you're going to bed soon. Alright, stop being rude. Third Amendment is unimportant. Fourth Amendment is right to unreasonable search and seizure. So you have to get a search warrant to search somebody, and you have to have a good reason for it. So you can't just police cannot walk into your home and be like, I'm searching for drugs. They can't do that. You have to have, like, a warrant, and you have to prove that you might have them. Unless they can search you for weapons if you're deemed a threat, like an immediate threat. Police can search you for weapons. They have to go to a judge, and the judge certifies you a warrant. Then you can. If you're if someone has a gun in public and they're not supposed to, they're allowed to take that from them. The police are allowed to take that, because that's a danger to people. So, like, that's an exception. Hi, HBS. I'm talking about American government. The Fifth Amendment. There's a lot of stuff in the Fifth Amendment. Okay. yo, this is from my test. Okay, leave me alone. I have to know all this. Oh, Fifth Amendment's hard. I can't remember this one off the top of my head. Let me think. Minute domain. Let me think. I low-key can't remember the Fifth Amendment very well. It's not good. Oh. Self-incrimination. So basically, Fifth Amendment states that you, in trial, you don't have to incriminate yourself. Or, in testimony. Like, if the police is at you, you don't have to talk to the police, basically. So people say, like, I plead the Fifth to the police if they get pulled over or charged with a crime. That means you don't have to, like, incriminate yourself or say you did a crime. You could be completely silent. Instead of being forced to say what you did. That's a really important one. It also gives you double jeopardy. So, like, let's say you get save it to the judge, essentially. Yeah. Let's say, like, you got on trial and you had a case and for a crime, like, I don't know, murder, right? And you were proven not guilty, and no evidence that you actually killed the person. The government cannot put you on trial twice for the same crime.
I know that's called double jeopardy.
Yeah, double jeopardy. Exactly. He got it. See, guys, he did it. And that's in the Fifth Amendment. Why is there a mute army? They're all here to listen to me talk about America. This is so nice. What's the last thing? There's also called eminent domain. So the government has they're allowed to just take your land, but they have to pay you like the reasonable amount of money back for it. So like if they could take $100,000 of land from you, they have to give you $100,000 back. That's in the Fifth Amendment. It's kind of random. I don't know why that's in the Fifth Amendment, but it just kind of is. Sixth Amendment gives you right to an attorney and a right to a fair and free trial. That's pretty self-explanatory. So you're provided an attorney if you cannot afford one. In America, huh?
Guys.
Yeah.
Does anybody here want to play Bed Wars with me?
You guys, if you want to play Bed Wars with them, go to 7VC. I'm talking right now. Dude, I'm in the flow state. I'm in the flow. I'm in the flow state. I don't want to hear. I'm in the flow state, buddy. What is it? The Eighth Amendment is it's about unreasonable and cruel punishment. So like in a important case of this is that you cannot sentence minors to death. Seventh is not important. Seventh isn't important. I don't even know seventh because it's really dumb. It's something to do with like civil trials or whatever.
It's the Second Amendment, Musara.
I told him about it. It's about the right to bear arms. He's like, I told him that under some certain I think it should be rewritten. I don't think it's useful anymore. Like I don't think the way it's written, it's like people can have guns, right? I don't think people should be able to have guns. I'm saying that it should definitely be like written restrictions onto what guns people can have and like how they can be owned and like all that stuff.
But people always say like criminals are gonna like get guns illegally. So then the people that are
but that's dumb. That's dumb. Like okay, think about it. Why would we make murder illegal? People are gonna murder anyways. Think about it. Like, that's dumb. People are going to get guns, but it would be better if we legal. And yeah, exactly. Right. If we legalized it, it would be harder for people to have access to it.
But a lot of people carry shit.
Yeah. Anyways, that is not important. The 10th Amendment, it gives you rights. Basically any law that's not written in the Constitution. That the federal government can do. So like. Is given to the state. So any federal government powers. Wait, this is hard to word. Powers not given to the federal government in the Constitution of America is given to the states, but like kind of not. I don't know how to explain it. That amendment's kind of conflicting. It's kind of confusing. There's a lot of exceptions to it, like an unreasonable amount because our country is weird. Okay, nice internet. What else? I forgot the 12th Amendment is important, but I can't remember what it was. I think it's the 12th Amendment is kind of useless, but I don't think you would really care about it. Oh, here's the important amendments, guys. Are you guys ready? Yeah, we're ready. Wait,
I'm not ready.
Okay. The 13th Amendment banned slavery. The 13th Amendment banned slavery. This was after the Civil War. So this is basically for black people. They were slavery was officially banned in this amendment, except for prison. If you are imprisoned, you can still be enslaved. Nobody knows this, but that's the thing. If you go to prison and you're serving a charge for a crime, you can be legally enslaved. Like perfectly legal.
I don't see a problem with that.
No, it's not forced labor. It's slavery. Like under the Constitution, it's slavery. But the thing is about that, which I don't like, is that people can be accused of crimes, and then like. Forced to do slavery, and then also.
Well, it's kind of
private.
Like they
no. Happy fun. Think about it. There are private prisons, privately owned prisons that make billions of dollars in America. You know they could easily use slave. They could easily.
What prison is making billions of dollars? What?
From slave labor. There are private prisons. Yes, people can privately own a prison.
Who told you
and from slave labor, I'm dead serious. And from slave labor, they can make money. I'm saying that's stupid. Legally, they can use slave labor to make money. I just don't think that's good. That's just an opinion. That is happening. You can search up 13th Amendment. It literally says.
No, I'm gonna search.
It literally says under the 13th Amendment. Under the 13th. You said under the 13th Amendment, slavery is allowed if you're serving punishment for a crime. In private prisons. Think about it. People are making profits. They're prisoners. That's just like use your brain here. What labor they're doing, I don't know. I can't say, but I know that's definitely a possibility and probably is happening. Anyways, it's not important. 14th Amendment is equal protection. There's a lot of stuff in the 14th Amendment. What is it? 14th Amendment says equal protection, so everyone has equal protection under the law. everyone's allowed to vote, kind of, except women at this point. I don't know why women are not the exception here. And that the state government has to listen to the federal government. Yeah, that's about it. 15th Amendment.
Okay,
No, 15th Amendment is right to vote.
just asked ChatGPT, are there prisons in America making billions off of
Privately
slave
owned.
labor? And it said yes.
Oh wow, crazy, right? Anyways, what is it?
I mean, like,
All the other amendments, other than
it's
after
different
15th,
than
is
slavery
unemployment.
though, type shit.
No, it's literally legal. Like they said, except
No,
for
but
if you're
it's
telling
so
a crime.
different though.
You can
So
be
different.
enslaved in America. You can be
Yeah,
enslaved
but
in
it's
America.
different.
You can.
But it's
It's
different.
not different. It's not
Because you're
different.
not
If they
getting
literally
abused.
said you
You're
could keep,
healthy. They like type
they
shit.
don't have to. They don't have to make
You know what I'm saying?
accommodations because you can be enslaved.
Yes, they do.
Like it's. If the
But they
Constitution
do.
says you can be enslaved if you're doing a punishment, they don't
Bro,
really
it's
have to do a
basically
lot to
community
say you don't
service.
have
You
to.
know that, right?
That's not what I'm talking
They
about.
just do work and shit
Mhm.
because they're like criminals.
Mm-hmm. You don't know
But, like,
exactly
they get
what.
food.
You know what?
They don't
Shut up,
get,
Happy
like,
Fun. Shut up.
whipped.
I'm muting you. I don't want to hear you, bro.
Dude, I'm spitting facts,
Okay.
bro.
19th Amendment. Okay, the 19th Amendment gives women the right to vote. Yeah, that's it. It's women's suffrage. I don't remember the last couple
Oh,
amendments.
yeah,
Okay.
I know,
No.
guys. I know when women got the right to vote. It was
How many are there? I
1920.
think there's 28, and most of them are kind
It
of
was
irrelevant.
1920, guys. 6-4, by
Okay,
the way.
shut up. The 16th Amendment. I think that's the federal government is allowed to do income taxes on all citizens, and the 17th Amendment means gives people the right to vote for senators.
Wait, you should make an amendment to your list.
Do you want me? Chat? Should I do that? Chat? Should I do that?
You should do that.
Again.
Okay, I can't place blocks there, Blutus. I'm sorry. I saw a video.
The 22nd Amendment, it makes sure that presidents can only run for 2 terms. I can't remember the 23rd and 24th, but I learned about the
Trump wants
25th.
to
I
run
don't
for
remember.
another one.
Huh?
Trump wants
Well,
to
he
run for
wants
another
to.
term.
He wants to, but he would have to repeal the amendment.
There's a white
to do
person on
that,
the
and that's
base.
not easy.
I let him go there. I have their bed.
That's all the amendments of America.
Wait, there's 2 there? Oh my god.
No, that's all the amendments I know about. That's like actually
No, it's
important.
just 1.
There's a bunch of other ones that are
Leave
kind of
that as
random.
the
Like
bed.
the 9th Amendment is like really, really confusing. I don't even know how to explain it, but it doesn't really make any sense. This is fun.
I'm sorry,
Mac, do you want
Blutus. I
to
guess
learn
we
about
touched-
court cases? My school was actually in a famous court case. Fun fact. I'm just saying, and was almost on the AP government test curriculum. About what? Mine was about the First Amendment. It was about the freedom of religion. I'm not gonna say everything about it because like you'll find out my school. It's a very famous case. Like you could search it up and you could go through the list of them and you'll find it. So I'm not gonna like dox myself, but
finding a school would be so easy.
you could. I'll just tell you honestly if you want to know.
In. Nah.
Wow, really? When did I tell you that?
You talking about a fire? Remember?
Oh yeah, did you find out the neighborhood I lived in?
Yeah, I didn't really care though.
Oh, yeah, you're probably right. There's a bunch of court cases. The Supreme Court decides matters and they interpret the Constitution. You know what courts do, right, Matt? There's no way you don't know what courts do. Like courts are like yeah. They interpret the law. Okay, that's what they do. And the Supreme Court this is not relevant to the AP Gov curriculum, buddy. This is not relevant. Yeah, this is AP Gov review time right now. This is what I'm doing. Bro, I have to get a 5 on this test. There's no way I'm not getting a 5. Anyways, they deal with matters that have to do with the Constitution. So like First Amendment, Second Amendment, all the amendments you just listed. If there's a violation between any of the amendments that's like really important, then the Supreme Court is on that. Like abortion. Abortion was a big issue, and they said that in the Constitution there's an implied right to privacy, and they said that abortion can technically be counted as like privacy. And so abortion was allowed and protected under America until recently, when that was repealed. And they said that since the 10th Amendment says that any powers not gifted to the federal government is gifted to how are you alive? It's to the states, and since that abortion is not in the Constitution, the states have the power to decide what it's going to be. So, fun fact, Mac. Now you know. Okay. Wow, I've said so much. the most important case I'd say recently is Brown v. Board of Education, which grants people of which integrated schools by because schools used to be divided by race, and so that court case decided that schools would be integrated. So yeah,
Okay,
Martin Luther King Jr. basically. Huh? What'd you say?
I'm talking
Okay.
to my teammate.
So Mac, at one point, schools were divided by race in America. So people who were white were not in the school, same school as people who were like
No way,
difficult,
he
like
doesn't know what
black, like Latino,
segregation is.
Asians. Asians had their own schools too. Like, bro, he's not American. I don't think. It's kind of famous here, but like, I don't even think.
Wait, but did other countries
Like, I
have
can't even.
segregation?
No, it was really an American thing. Oh,
No,
South
there's no
America
way,
had
like,
apartheid.
Britain or something
South
would-
America had apartheid. That was the like colonizers had like systems like that. They had, but it wasn't segregation. Segregation is a very specific term. I don't want to go into that. Because they weren't divided by race. They were divided typically by social status and what do you call it? Ethnic groups. It's not particularly race. Race is a very specific categorization. Now it was invented to justify slavery. Fun fact. Race is like not really a real thing. Well, it's a social construct, but it's not like it's arbitrary. It's not really real. Now you guys know. How fun is that? I think people should know that. I think people know that. It's kind of a famous thing. Wow, I've said so much, bro. I've said so many words. yo, I'm definitely doing good on this test, chat. Oh, how many are there, and when are you done with them? Diamond, can I be honest with you? I skipped like maybe 6 amendments because I forgot what they were.
Finally.
I'm starting to get thirsty. I don't know about you, bro. I'm in the flow state. You guys see I'm in the flow state right now? Someone gotta clip me right now. Someone gotta clip me. Like, you guys can't tell I'm like actually the GOAT, bro. No, my Mackie is leaving, bro. Now Corey's gonna leave. Oh, and I think I have an idea on where Yuma's going. I think I know where Yuma's going.
To eat.